Hello and welcome to another interview with Hospitality and Events North. And today I'm joined by Helen Lowe, who's the Events and Marketing Manager for Europa International. Hi, Helen, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, very good. Thank you so much for joining us. Obviously, everybody in the corporate events world are familiar with Europa. So it's a really great that you've joined us today. Just want to get your take on the current situation within the industry, find out a little bit more about what you guys have been up to. So if you just want to kind of tell us a little bit of background to start with.
Okay, yeah. So Europa International, we've been operating since 1961. So next year is our 60th anniversary. So we're looking
Wow.
forward to that. So, we've stood the test of time. Obviously, time at the moment is slightly testing, to say the least, for obviously many people in the industry.
For sure.
So we operate across the whole of the UK and into Europe. So of course, Brexit's been an issue of obviously of how we all have to work slightly differently. But again, we're good at adapting over the past 60 years. We've faced many things. So I think in the current climate, we're just facing our next little challenge, but we're positive about it. So,
Yeah.
so like I say, we've been going on.
Absolutely. Yes, I mean, obviously, I know that you do a lot in the corporate events world,
Yeah.
and it's unfortunately it's an area that's really been hit hard by the pandemic. So,
Mhm.
just tell us a little bit about how the company is kind of adapted to that, and moving forward, the sort of different areas you'll be working in.
Well, I mean, obviously, there's a very basic uh, outline from the government as to how events can operate. It's and I'll use the word basic because it's not finite yet, because obviously there's pilot schemes taking place, etc. But we have been very proactive. We have been working with a number of venues across the UK to work out how they're going to operate, because at the end of the day, it's key that we have to fall into line with the venue. And so we've worked really hard these past few months, talking, discussing, working out plans with those venues. And I think we've got such a good relationship with many venues across the UK, that it's made things easier. And confidence, because obviously that's the key thing, is
Mm.
confidence, not only from the venue's point of view, obviously from the client's point of view as well. When we all pull together, that we're all from singing from the same hymn sheet, as it were.
Yeah.
And and then that's been really important, that we've joined forces with many venues just to sort of work out the best way to go. And like I say, we are literally good to go. So once we can get cracking again properly, and rolling our vehicles and our trucks out there across the motorway network again, we're confident that we're
Yeah.
cracking.
Good. So before lockdown, obviously, the world of furniture. Tell us a little bit about how it was and how it's kind of changed, if you like.
Um, well, basically, obviously, we had numerous styles of events, so therefore numerous types of product required. Did you need conferencing, for example, that might have needed, say, 2,000 or 3,000 conference chairs? Obviously, we're going to have to reassess that, because the figures just don't add up from a government point of view of what they're saying that we can and can't house people. So that's why I was saying we were working, going back to what I said before, working with the venues, so that if a conference needed creating, or needs to be created rather, we're having to work on different numbers and spacing, and all the social distancing rules and things that have come into play. So yeah, before, it was easy to do a conference for 2,000 people or more of your seating, but now it's going to be slightly different. So I think visually, obviously, it's going to look different, but it'll still have the great same feel and style of and confidence. And going with confidence again, because we need clients to be confident, and hopefully it'll look great then.
So the world of conferencing, it looks like it's going to change. Maybe lots more smaller events. And you've also been changing your product range a little bit, haven't you? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because obviously we're all having to sort of have the distancing aspect. So we've created registration desks, for example. They've got plastic shielding, so any registration staff member that will be on one side of the desk, the delegate appears on the other side. I think they're going to be doing away with paper badging, registration. So a lot of people are going to be using phones for scanning. So it's easy then to pass your phone through towards a scanner. You've still got that plastic barrier system. So it's again, it's that confidence of knowing that giving that confidence, to the delegate and to the registration staff, that employee, that there's some kind of protection there. Because I mean, we're just all so used to it now, just seeing plastic and masks and things. It's become the new norm, and I think people are we're getting on with it,
Yeah, we
and
have to do.
so you have to, yeah. So the other thing is then about obviously crowd control. So from a queuing system, so we're pushing the fact that you need to be thinking about in the planning format of your event, things like ropes and posts and barrier systems. So you've got that nice flow, and that people aren't perhaps bottlenecking and so on. But yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because you were telling me earlier you also do the exhibition shell schemes, don't you?
We do.
So how do you feel about how the exhibition world is going to change? For example, are we still going to be able to have the kind of exhibitions and shell schemes that we've had before, or will they look very different?
It's a little bit hard for me because obviously, so we're waiting for additional guidelines from the government because these pilot schemes. Obviously, there's been a number of different square meterage being mooted about what the maximum, or rather what the minimum we can work to. Until we get concrete guidelines, it's terribly hard for us to work and put a plan together to cover that, because like I said, whilst we're working with the venues, and the venues got their ideas and things, which is great, and we're working to those varying levels. If the government decide that's not going to happen, then it's quite hard. But whether it means shell scheme has to be bigger, aisles have to be bigger for people walking around, one-way systems. It's challenging, but we like a challenge.
We do, and to be honest, the resilience shown by a lot of people in this industry right now is astounding. Really, there's a real sort of united front to make sure that the industry gets back on its feet, and of course it's so important to the economy.
So, I mean that's it. Sorry, I for interjecting there, but that's something that we're really passionate about, is the fact that everyone that's in this industry, we all care, and we're really passionate about it. In our industry, at the end of the day, it's worth 70 billion, and the number of people that it employs, over 600,000, and just we're sort of flabbergasted, really, that the government haven't really, without getting too political, aren't really listening to us, and yet there's so much money that gets brought into the country via events, and even governments themselves, obviously they run events, so without having our suppliers, you've got no event yourself. I mean, it's crazy.
It just seems right now that there seems to be a mixed message going out as to what you can and can't do, and I certainly think there needs to be some clarity there. Um, uh, Brilliant, Helen. It's been absolutely fabulous to talk to you. You've got now an opportunity to plug yourself a little bit. So we've put your website address on there. That's the best place to go, I guess, for any more information.
Yeah.
Would you like to tell us anything else really regarding your own contact information?
You can contact obviously myself at helen.lowe at europainternational.com. We can also be found on Instagram. And like I say, if you want to just look for any of the products that we have, then by all means go to our main website and all the details will be there. And by all means, if you need to ring the main number and there'll be somebody that can actually take your call for any further queries and possible events, because we're happy to help.
And I know you can't talk specifically about clients, but what are the type of clients that you're looking for and that you generally kind of work with?
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's really varied. I mean, we do an awful lot of work for medical companies, for blue chip companies, to even the music industry. Obviously, we'll do work for people that are, say, PAs. They're obviously organising internal events, and yeah, it's very varied. And like I say, unfortunately, I can't
No.
drop as much as
Any kind of furniture requirements for any kind of event? Would you say that kind of covers it?
um,
Or do you specify?
I'm not having a lawsuit. No, you're fine.
Oh, that's been brilliant. Look, we know you're a market leader in the industry when it comes to furniture, and obviously with your new products, you sort of really adapting to the current situation. You're ready to go. And we at Hospitality and Events North here as well are very appreciative of your continued support, because like any business, we need to continue, but we need the support of our clients. So for that, we are grateful. We're grateful for you joining us today to have a chat and to talk about the current situation. So many thanks.
You're welcome. Thank
And
you.
we look forward to bumping into you soon at
Oh yeah,
one of the industry events.
you'll see me.
Thank you very much. Nice to speak to you.
Take care. Thank you.
Bye bye.